My apologies, folks. We're going to maybe be 3 minutes late. So the AI Advantage Summit, welcome everybody. I will blow through these introductions because I already did them once, but today's calendar is right here. If you have to jump in and out of the summit, that is okay. You have inspections, you have listing appointments, you have kids to get to school, you have lunch, you have other things that you had planned today. But I'm so excited. We're going to be kicking off the day. I'm going to do a brief intro to the summit. And we've got Gogo Becky talking about social media. We've got Mike Sherrard talking about how he did 1 million GCI with video and how you can too. The super connector, Chris Winfield, is here. He's been all over AI. The guy's amazing. Nick Krem, founder of the Krem Institute. Sarah Pinnell is going to be talking about new listings with AI. She's with Paperless Agent, great company. Conversational Magic with Jeff Broger. He's with Ylopo. They've been doing AI since before AI. Unbelievably awesome. Verl Workman's going to be talking about leadership, conversion. He's got Workman Success Systems. The guy, I saw him in San Antonio recently, just absolutely blowing it up. Steve Cunningham, you're not familiar with necessarily, but he's been a personal mentor of mine in the AI space. His first 4 weeks in AI made $200,000, made $500,000 with AI in 90 days. He's got some really exciting stuff to share. Chris Vogt, one of my partners on the AI Council at eXp Realty, top 5 tactics in AI. He has been a commercial broker, a residential broker, really good wealth of experience. Grant Wise, of course, with Whitley, converting leads with AI. Folks, I mentioned their companies not because they're going to be selling anything, but to give them credibility. We have founders of companies. We have coaches. We have amazing people on this program. Isaiah Colton founded Ren 360. He's an agent. He's been using AI, again, since before AI. Chris Tuswell with Addressable, and, of course, the inimitable Bill Pipes, coach and speaker. The guy's a stud to wrap up the day. And I'm excited to announce that because today was so popular with over 600 registrations, we have launched a second day. I don't have the link up for it yet, but September 27th, mark it in your calendars. Wednesday, September 27th, we're going to be focusing specifically on AI for marketing and branding. That's going to be anchored by Bruce Turkel, who is an amazing branding expert, keynote speaker nationally, and Dan Beer has signed up for that one as well. We'll probably have 1 or 2 of our speakers from today re-invited and new ones. So that's going to be super exciting. And without further ado, AI, why have I been so excited about it? It's free cognitive labor for your business. And here's the way I look at technology from the past, 40 years, right? Everything that's been introduced for our industry, for technology just in general, has been a major time suck, especially for realtors, right? I've been a realtor full-time since 2002. And when email came about, great, I can communicate with people faster, but now I've got to communicate with thousands of people a day. Text messaging, oh, that's awesome. I can just whip off something really quickly to somebody, but now I've got to do 400 of those a day. Social media, oh my gosh, I can stay in touch with my friends, but now I've got to monitor Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, right? X, now formerly Twitter. Like, there's so many things you have to do. YouTube, oh my gosh, I can get my message out to billions of people and I can get inbound leads because now they know me, like me, trust me. But YouTube's pretty much a time suck, right? So all of these things have added time to our day. So we've ended up hiring VAs, right? Virtual assistants. You can hire them in the Philippines, Brazil, Texas. It doesn't matter. But so you're hiring people at $4 an hour, $8 an hour, $20 an hour to start filling in to do all these jobs, to communicate in all the ways that everybody's expecting you to communicate. AI is the first free cognitive labor for your business. AI is there to think with you, think alongside you, do redundant tasks for you. And we're going to go into some of the uses for AI here in just a little bit. Who am I? Why should you pay attention? Here are some of my awards, certifications, coaching certifications, places where I've been listed in magazines. I don't like to toot my own horn, so I'm going to move on. What is Chat GDP? If you have been under a rock since November, Chat GDP is an extensive language model. It's an LLM. And it's designed to converse. And what it's done basically is scraped the entire internet for knowledge. And then it puts it together and starts blending it and thinking about it and accessing it in ways that, Google search engines or Bing search engines or Yahoo AOL was not doing. It's generative, which means that it is thinking as it's processing. So when you start typing into a chat and you communicate with AI, this particular model, via a little chat window, just like if you're on Facebook Messenger or Workplace or something, it will start thinking and remembering the conversation and learning from the conversation. So when you ask it one thing and then you ask it again, it remembers what you asked the first time and it builds on itself. That's generative, right? So that's kind of a brief overview. What is Chat GDP? If you have been under a rock since November, Chat GDP is an extensive language model. It's an LLM, and it's designed to converse. And what it's done basically is scraped the entire internet for knowledge. And then it puts it together and starts blending it and thinking about it and accessing it in ways that Google search engines or Bing search engines or Yahoo AOL was not doing. It's generative, which means that it is thinking as it's processing. So when you start typing into a chat and you communicate with AI, this particular model, via a little chat window, just like if you're on Facebook Messenger or Workplace or something, it will start thinking and remembering the conversation and learning from the conversation. So when you ask it one thing and then you ask it again, it remembers what you asked the first time and it builds on itself. That's generative, right? So that's kind of a brief overview of what Chat GDP is, because you're going to hear a lot about that. The future of AI. Oh my gosh, AI, the Chat GDP blew up like over 1 million visitors in 5 days. It's set an absolute record. It's had 1.7 billion visits since June, or through June. So there will be more AI assistants than people in the world, which is kind of crazy to think about. But when you're looking at all the jobs that AI can do, if they're going to be 8.4 billion AI voice assistants and virtual assistants in the world, it's going to surpass our population. That's a lot of computing power. That's a lot of people getting helped by a free brain. So who's using AI right now? And why should a realtor use it? Microsoft, Google, Netflix, Amazon, Tesla. I'm not going to read these slides, but big companies, billion-dollar companies, everybody's using AI to help with a lot of different aspects of their business. Why should you use AI? Well, first mover advantage is already gone, right? First mover is the person who is out there with a hammer or with a sickle in the Amazon, right? Picture Dwayne Janson out there, and crushing it through the Amazon. He was the first mover advantage, but he's risking getting whacked, falling off a cliff, getting hit by a tiger, any one of those things that might be happening. First movers took a lot of hits, took a lot of wounds, and first mover like myself or Gogo or Mike, people who've been out there putting hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars into testing tools, have been getting beat up, right? We've expended energy, we've expended time, we've expended money, investing in different things that may or may not have worked, but we've also figured out what does work. So the first mover, we've been there, but now you've got the early adopter stage, right? Now you're still in the very early adopter phase, which is awesome. And I'm going to explain why. The first movers are the ones that, you're doing the Leadville 100, which is a 100-mile race, 2 miles above sea level in my home state of Colorado. They're going to put the pros out first. They're going to let the wave of pros, and there might only be 15 or 20 of those. They're going to let them go first because they're running that thing fast, right? They're going to knock it down. Then the early adopters come in. These are the advanced intermediates, right? Or whatever. So the advanced intermediates are the early adopters. That's you right now. You're the front line. The people that have left already, that's just kind of scattered and running. They're your coaches for this wave. Now you're in the front. If you start adopting AI in December, if you start adopting AI next spring, Q1, Q2, you say, I've got it on my calendar for 2024, you're going to be clumped in the middle. Now, what happens when you're clumped in the middle? It's busy, it's crowded. You're not going to be able to break out and make a real move, right? Because you're going to be trapped in that peloton. I'm going to switch from running to road biking, bear with me. But you're going to be trapped in that peloton, right? And you're not going to be able to break out and move to the front. The other thing is everybody's going to finish, right? Everybody is committed professional, and you're a committed professional because you're on this call. Everybody's going to finish the race, but you're either going to finish at the front or you're going to finish in the middle. So let's look at first mover advantage. If you had bought Bitcoin back in July 28, 2010, it's worth 6 cents. A $100 investment in Bitcoin would be worth nearly $73 million today. Now, it didn't take long for the price to go up. So the early adopter phase, right? And now it started selling for $319, which would still be worth a handsome $1.3 million today. But now Bitcoin's what, like $50,000 a coin? So you're really not going to get that appreciation anymore. That's what's going to be 2024 for people who are late adopters. But the good news is we're still early. We're still in that 2010 Bitcoin days of AI. And so you have a chance. We're not at the $3. We're not at the 6 cents, but maybe we're at the 25 cents or the 50 cents. You can still capitalize on AI in a way that a lot of your competitors are not. So let's go, right? Let's get you on the podium. No participation trophies for anybody who's here. No free Gatorade. You're rocking and rolling. You're crushing it with AI. Now, if you do get value out of today, I'm just going to do one little plug here for VIP. It's the token $39, lifetime access to the recordings of all 14 speakers today, a list of AI tools, you get transcripts, notes, more. I'm going to release some bonuses later on in the day that you're going to absolutely want to participate in. So what can you achieve with AI? So what are other companies doing? They're doing emails. They're doing social media. You can respond and craft customer support responses. You can develop copy that resonates deeply with your target audience. We're going to go into how to do that a lot today. Blog content. You can generate expert level blog content effortlessly. And we're going to show you how to do that in like 15, 30 seconds. You can have a whole blog article, search engine optimized. You can script captivating videos. You can overcome objections. You can tweak your sales pages. There's so much you can do with AI, right? Think about it. You've got this massive, massive free brain sitting right here. That's why our Power Agent logo is this brain, jazzed by new synapses and computers. You've got this massive free brain working right here alongside you to create drip campaigns, create market reports. Did you know that NARRPR, your realtor resource, has the most amazing AI tool that can create custom market reports for zip codes and neighborhoods and cities? You can create articles, you can create emails, you can create video scripts, market reports in different tone of language. And that's already built in to a free resource you have as a realtor. And you may or may not know about that. I keep telling people about that, and they're just blown away that here's a free resource on how to do market reports. And it's so versatile. It's awesome. We might even do a special training just on that. Listing descriptions. If you've been writing listing descriptions for 20 years like I have, sometimes you get tired of saying it's light and bright and cute and everything else and blah, blah, blah. Open floor plan, chef's kitchen. What a delight. You can entertain your friends here. It gets boring. So I'll be blunt. So have AI tweak your listing descriptions. Plan your social media. Gogo's going to go into this in a couple of minutes. Oh my gosh, she's the social media queen. She's just absolutely going to crush it. She is the social media queen, and she's going to tell you how to use AI for social media. You can automate redundant tasks. You can engage your CRM. Ylopo, Whitley, there are other companies, paperless. Engage the CRM with nuance and subtlety in a way that's going to absolutely blow your mind. I'm not asking you to buy any product today. We're not selling anything today. But the way that people are using AI, you absolutely have to be aware of, because if you're not and somebody else is, you're going to be replaced by someone who is. Okay? Just flat out, that's what's going to happen in today's market. LinkedIn leads, scraping LinkedIn for contacts, engaging them in chatbots, amazing stuff. And design, there's so many different ways. Finance, people are using AI to help with their accounting, with their finances, with their numbers. For feedback and iteration. It's really, really wonderful to, like, some of these slides, the sentences I was putting together, I didn't necessarily like the way I was writing it. So I would just bounce and get 5 new ideas from AI. Media buying, Facebook's algorithms, right, are all cruising with AI, right? And the way you buy Google ads and the way you buy pay-per-click, your operations, troubleshooting and support, risk assessment. We're running out of time. I don't have time to go into all these helpful apps. Take a screenshot of this. I'm going to leave it up here for a second. People are going to be going into apps all day long. These are just a couple that are very useful. Take a quick screenshot. But let's go into design, right? So design, like, I'm a creative guy. I was an art major, economics double major for a long time in college. I love doing design, but I'm not a pro. I realize my limitations. It's not what I've been doing 60 hours a week for 20 years. I've been a realtor. Right? But you can go to AI and get advice for creative idea sessions. You can get rid of that blank canvas syndrome. You can overcome and say, okay, what am I supposed to do? And so slide designs can come up and image designs can come up. You can create custom images. If you're not liking the typical blue and yellow and white house that you've seen on every marketing piece for 10 years right now, come up with a new design and then you tweak it. Right? So you're always going to have to rely on your own creative genius, your own creative engine inside of you. But if you can use AI to do the heavy lifts and get you 90% of the way there, it's really, really fantastic. Enhancing productivity. So, having a chatbot engage your audience, right? So that the first 1 or 2 or 3 times they get pinged, you make sure they're a live human being, right? Or you make sure that they're actually interested, or make sure that they're not just browsing, blah, blah, blah. But you can engage someone in a way to raise them to the top and get them to lift their hand. But automating tasks, doing data analysis. AI is great at crunching numbers, and so using it for that. In fact, a survey by McKinsey Global suggests that by 2030, up to 30% of work activities and about 2/3 of occupations could be automated. It's going to be a massive shift in workforce in the next couple of years, right? I mean, we're 2023, so 7 years, 30% of activities and 2/3 of all jobs are going to be automated. So we're not saying that AI is going to replace people, but people using AI will be the ones who survive. You can get data-driven insights, predictive analytics, and real-time monitoring of your website, of your business for people who have robust CRMs and are running teams of 20, 30, 50, 100. To have AI crunch the numbers and see where people are going into their database and how they're working it and what your ROI is and what your KPIs are, your key performance indicators, your return on investment, really key stuff. Customer understanding. So Gartner Group suggests that by the end of 2023, 40% of customer-facing employee and government workers will rely on AI virtual assistants to enhance their productivity. I'm not going to read the whole slide, but imagine that. So you're on the phone with somebody, right? And here's a way that it's not using AI, but I'm going to give you an example. So if I'm on the phone with somebody and I get a brand new listing call, someone's like, hey, well, what do you think my home is worth? Guess what? I'm on a couple of different CMA models in the background, immediately typing in their address, getting some comps, getting a range, because I want to know, am I talking to a $400,000 to $500,000 home seller? Am I talking to an $800,000 to 1.2 million? Am I talking to a 3 million? I want to get a ballpark. And I'm going to say, look, I'm sure you're aware homes in your neighborhood are selling for between 400,000 to 600,000. I obviously can't give you an accurate price before I actually walk your home. When would be a good time to come over for 10 minutes and just find out why your house is so wonderful? But I have an assistant right there giving me a home value, right? And there's probably a lot of AI going on crunching that valuation in the background. But 40% of all jobs are going to have an AI virtual assistant enhancing their productivity, making you a better version of you. You still have to be the superhero that wears the Iron Man suit, but the Iron Man suit of AI can make you a bigger version of you. Finance and accounting, a lot of different ways we're not going to go into today that you can use AI to help you with your finance and your accounting. But copywriting, oh my gosh, this is definitely the low-hanging fruit, folks. To get new copy for your emails, to get new copy for your sales pages. A lot of the emails you received getting to this point, to being on this webinar today, if you're wondering if it's effective, a lot of that was AI generated. I came up with the basics, right? I came up with the bones, but then I said, you know what? I'm not a copywriting expert. It's not what I've been doing. It's not what I was trained to do. Yes, I went to good colleges. Yes, I have a law degree, but I'm not a marketing copywriter, right? And you don't have to be either, but you can say, hey, write this in the style of somebody else and get attention grabbing copy. I was referring to that market report done by NARRPR. They have copywriting put right in there. Then you can choose the tone of voice. You can choose it to be engaging or funny or professional. And it'll tweak the language that it uses, the vocabulary that it uses, so you can resonate with your audience better. Marketing analysis. So to analyze your actual marketing, right? When you look at MailChimp, for example, and you're sending out emails to people announcing the AI Advantage Summit, you want to know if your marketing is effective. And so we're looking at users so you can resonate with your audience better. Marketing analysis. So to analyze your actual marketing, right? When you look at MailChimp, for example, and you're sending out emails to people announcing the AI Advantage Summit, you want to know if your marketing is effective. And so we're looking at click-through rates. We're looking at open rates. We're resending to non-openers. We're changing our messaging. And you can use AI to effectively monitor your marketing as a realtor. And folks, we're going to get really deep into the weeds on how to do all this all day long. My session right now is an overview. I coach this stuff. A lot of people on this call today are coaches of AI, of real estate. You have multiple different ways of diving in and going deeper in terms of getting operations, right? How do you get a chatbot up and running on your website so that it's engaging your customers when they're doing hey, I want to buy a new home in Washington Park in Denver, Colorado. I'm looking at $1.5 million. Are you available? Well, you want a chatbot engaging that someone right then and there because, hey, $45,000 is on the line. I'm not setting commissions. I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just using a random number as an example. Sales improvement. There are companies right now, this is so exciting, that have live AI analysis of your sales calls. So when you're prospecting, when your team members are prospecting, when someone you hire is prospecting, they're going to be engaging the customer. They're going to be going through your talk tracks or your scripts or whatever you call them, your proven language. They're going to be going through that with a customer. The AI will check their conversation versus the script and say, here's where you varied, here's where it went right, here's where it went wrong, and here's suggestions for improvements. Live analysis of your sales call by artificial intelligence. If you're running a call center, if you've got a VA in the Philippines or Brazil, if you are even monitoring a team locally, it is impossible to stay on top of all the calls. But what do we hear every time we pick up a phone? This call may be recorded for quality and assurance purposes. Well, guess what? Now the AI can live coach you on your sales call or look at your sales call that you just had, make you better for the next call. And why do people use scripts, folks? Because they work, right? Data analysis. Here's some more tools. I'm going to pause on this for a second and let you take a screenshot. Because you say, how do I do all this stuff? Well, you do it with some of these tools, and there are 40 to 50 new tools being introduced every single week. I don't want you to get lost in the weeds with the tools. Hear this big picture thing. I'm wanting you to see the philosophy behind the AI and what AI can do and what free cognitive labor can do for you. The tools will be replaced. Some are going to rise to the top. It's not about that. And we're going to give you that whole list of tools, all the tools that everybody's using today, all the proven technology in the VIP. It's only $39. So stats. I'm going to try to wrap this up here a little bit. I might even try to get Gogo on early. She's a rock star. She's got her team ready to present. But $136 billion is the global market right now. And it's going to be 97 million people who are going to be working in the AI space by the end of 2025. This is a trillions and trillions of dollar impact on our economy. And it is just getting rolling, folks. You're the early adopters. You're at the front of the pack. You got here, early. I mean, you of all people, the ones that are on right now got on at a 7:30 call. You're not jumping on at 1:30. You're not jumping on at 10:30. You are at the very front of the pack. You're showing that you're eager to invest in yourself. You're eager to grow. You're the ones who are going to survive this economy. The high interest rates, when they're coming down, you're going to be poised to crush because you're using AI to position yourself. So in a time of drastic change, it's the learners who inherit the future. The rest are going to live in the world that no longer exists. The world that you live in now will not exist next year. It won't. And the way you do business today, you're going to be just dead in the water next year if you're not leveraging AI. And I'm not a fearmonger. This is not gloom and doom. This is hope and optimism. This is excitement. This is me jazzed out of my mind. I've been spending hundreds and hundreds of hours every single month diving into this because I view it as the future. I've been learning all the tools. I've been exploring all the tools, the nuances, the prompts, everything. I've been masterminding with the people on today's webinar because today's world will not exist next year. The way you do business, just kind of like you've seen the franchise model for real estate go out the window. And there are companies that have developed cloud-based models that have been hugely successful, profitable when other companies are not profitable. Franchise model is a thing of the past. Working without AI is a thing of the past. And so let's, excited to dive into today. We've got this huge lineup. I think I wrapped that up in less than 30 minutes. I am pretty stoked about that. I'm going to stop the share and I am going to reclaim host. Sarah, you did an amazing job. Thank you so much. Colorado, Robin from Kittle Real Estate. Welcome. Good morning. Gotta take a breath. I think I spoke for like 26 minutes without taking a breath or a cup of coffee. But that's the fun of being a presenter and seeing all your wonderful faces in this room. I am now going to have to become a Zoom expert, which is something I am not.